In today's video, we are going to be looking at Flowise. Flowise is a great solution for creating RAG applications and also for prototyping quickly AI applications. And it has undergone quite a lot of changes and updates. So I thought it would be a good idea to discover it together. So if you're interested in building RAG application, this live stream is great for you. Also, you can ask me questions and and I'll try to answer them during the live. So, all right, let's get into it. Flowise is a application that allows you to create chat flows, but they have also now given the ability to create agent flows. Now, also OpenAI has a framework that allows you to create agents now, where you can create different agents with different tools that can call different functions and connect to different systems and do different things. So in Flowise, we can also do it. So why is it great? Because you don't have to be a developer and write code and deploy it anywhere. We can rapidly prototype and build things inside of Flowise. So I've built quite a few processes in Flowise, but I haven't built not even one agent flow. So what I wanted to do is maybe build an agent flow that is like a RAG system. So let's start. Let's start with a new agent flow. So I haven't quite understood. So we have also assistants like OpenAI assistants. We give it an API key of our assistant and the ID of the assistant, and I guess we connect to this. So that's pretty straightforward. What is a custom assistant? I guess it's something similar with custom instructions that you can deploy here. Okay, all right, and then edit your own RAG. Let's try it out. So let's try this. So let's call it RAG system. And then we can select a model. We're going to select ChatGPT. And yeah. All right, that's fine. Your instructions, knowledge base. So I guess we have to upload the knowledge base somewhere. Document stores, connection credentials. That's fine. Tokens, frequency, timeout, stop sequence. Everything is just normal parameters, just like creating an assistant on OpenAI. Nothing special about this. So it's great that it's here, so we can create also custom assistants. It's very easy, but that's not really what we wanna do. What we wanna do is create an agent flow. So having different agents that are gonna perform different tasks for us. So let's start again and let's call this. Let's see if we can access this. Call it maybe like, I don't know. Click here. Click on save and call it RAG system. All right, so we're going to call it RAG system, get rid of this, save it, and now we can create our RAG system. What do we want to do with this RAG kind of system? We want a AI tool to get the information from the database, we want one to analyze, and we want one to create us a report out of it. I think that would be a good example of a RAG system with different agents that do different things and perform different tasks. Maybe we can add an agent also that does some searching as well. All right, so we have sequential agents, agent, condition, agent, custom.js function. All right, so let's start with something a little bit easier, such as like a framework. So multi-agents. So let's try with maybe a worker agent, supervisor agent. So we need some tools for this. We need agent memory and we need input moderation. Okay, so let's see additional parameters. In here we have the system instructions for this agent. So team members, all right. Summarization, what is this? Return final output as a summarization of the conversation. Not really required right now, so that's fine. So what do we need? Two calling chat models. So we need a chat model that allows for tool calling. So if we go to chat models and we scroll, we have quite a few models. So I see that there has been quite an update of different models here. So we have quite a few additions. This list is getting bigger and bigger. We also have open router. That's really cool. So we could use maybe open router. So we can use, no, let's use open AI. So everybody has open AI. So let's select the connection credentials. Yeah, fingers crossed that this is going to work and we don't have to select a new one, but doesn't matter. We'll fix it if it's required. So this is the only thing that is required, agent memory. So if we want to give some memory to our agent, so let's see what we can give our agent. Let's close this and let's see inside of the memory. So we have agent memory. This is depreciating or depreciating memory for agent workflow, MySQL, SQL agent memory. So we can connect to a database. I would happen to have actually a localhost database that I have this. So this would connect to the database. That's pretty cool. It would take me a little bit of time to get the credentials. So let's just maybe try. This is, I think, localhost, something like this. No. Okay. So this is still, we have to use Postgres or MySQL. So let's just see if I have Postgres. No, I don't. I do have a server online that is running Postgres. Should we connect to it? Do we need it? Not really. So here in the cache, agent memory, input moderation. Let's just save it and see what happens with this agent. So let's just try it and see. Cannot read properties on undefined chat ID. Okay, so it could be our OpenAI API key. So let's just go get a new API key so that we are sure that everything is working. So inside our API keys, we're going to generate a new API key. Just going to call it test API key test 23. Remember to give your API key some meaningful values, otherwise you're gonna end up like me and have a kind of a chaos of different API keys. All right, so let's go to credentials, add new credentials. Should we just change one of these? Yeah, let's change one of these and let's save it. Go back to our chat agent flows RAG system and let's change our credentials. Save this and let's just try it and see what happens. Okay, so this is not working, so I think we need maybe a supervisor. So let's try adding a supervisor, and if we go to here memory, where multi-agents supervisor, so I guess this guy is going to agent memory input moderation. No, this is not how this is working. So I guess we have to go to sequential agents and condition agent and conversation. I think we have to build potentially a flow that is something like this. So this video we are going to be looking at Flowise. Flowise is a great solution for creating RAG applications and also for prototyping. Just put this into hold and all right, and let's get back to our automation right here. So so yeah, this is not going to work. I guess I'm going to have to look inside of the documentation, but I've seen that the documentation is pretty poor on Flowise. And even though I've seen inside of the agent flows how to kind of try to set them up, it is not really clear how to get them to work. So that's pretty much all it shows. So we have a worker, a supervisor that is calling another. So we have a supervisor that is calling a worker. So let's see if we have inside of our model, we have 2 supervisors. So I guess we should get a worker inside of our model. So let's click on memory, moderation, chat models, chains. Where was that? That was inside of agents. So if we go to agents, but let's just put this on pause and let's see if one of our subscribers is available to join. So I'm gonna join inside of the meeting and see if they will be joining. All right, cool. So let's get back to creating this agent flow. All right, so we said that we need a worker. So let's add a worker prompt, worker name. We're gonna call this researcher. Let's just call it researcher. And we're gonna connect it to our supervisor. Right here. So it works like this. We have the supervisor, different tools that the supervisor can call, different tools that the worker can call, the memory that the supervisor can have, tool calling chat model. So we can also add a model here. Let's see if this is enough to make it work. Using a search engine. So this should be a search agent. Let's just try and see if this is going to work. So test. All right, so this is pretty very cool actually, because it is working. So we created a very quick, really quick interface between a agent and a supervisor, 2 agents, which is actually to build it on the code side and to deploy it is actually pretty complicated. So right now this is not doing anything. If we wanted to deploy it and use it kind of straight away, we could just deploy our chatbot, make it public and even accessible to our own URL. I'm super curious just to see what it looks like. So let's go right here and let's say I need to know the weather in Bergamo. Super cool. I can provide real-time. All right, that's great. I don't think so. Maybe it is going to do a search. Oh, no, it can't. Okay, that's fine because it doesn't have any tools or anything. All right, so let's try to make this a little bit smarter. So let's maybe add some tools, first things that we should do. So if we go inside of the tools, multi-agents, sequential agents, tools right here. So we can use different search. Let's use the simplest web search SERPer API. Well, we can use this actually. I think my API key is going to work. So I think we can connect this. And what else can we do? So we can send, can we send emails? Do we have a Gmail, Google search? Well, we can make HTTP requests, so we can, I guess we can make, we can send emails. We can do a Google search, custom tool, build our own tool. Okay, all right. So let's just try this on the fly, see if it works. Let's save it. Actually, this is so cool. I can just try it out right here. What is the weather in Bergamo? So let's see our agent. Current weather conditions in Bergamo. I guess it is using the tool that we have just added to it. yeah, it got it. I have no idea. I'm not sure, familiar with Fahrenheit. Can we convert into Celsius? Okay, so this is kind of a stupid agent because it's not keeping the memory of the conversation inside of our agent. And why is that? Because I guess we haven't added any agent memory or any buffer memory or anything like that. So I guess that's why, or maybe it's trying to call the agent and the agent and the worker is just going in loop. But yeah, let's just stop this because let's stop this and let's try to fix this issue. So we have our supervisor right here, we have our chat model. So let's see if we can add some. So here they don't have any input memory. Sequential agents, agent 1, agent 2. So you start something, there's a loop. All right, so this, I think this is not what we are really looking for. This is more of a process automation. So that's not really what we are looking for. What we are looking for is tool calling chat model. We can add a chat model also here. Chat open AI. So let's see if we can add something else. Chat model chains. No, this is not a chain. We can add maybe agent memory. So let's see, memory, agent memory. That's the only thing that we can add. So since I don't have a database, I guess I cannot configure this. Never mind. Let's save this and leave this for another time when I set up an SQL or Postgres database. Now let's see if we can still create a RAG in the normal way. So let's save this. Let's call it a RAG system. And we're going to save this. We're going to create a new chain. In this example, we're going to be creating a conversational retrieval Q&A chain, and this requires a vector store, a chat model, memory, input moderation, everything pretty straightforward. So the first thing, we're going to add a chat model, and we're going to go with OpenAI, selecting a decent model. I think we should, yeah, we can keep the mini for right now. Remember, temperature is pretty high, so big chance of hallucinating. After that, we are going to add a vector store. So not sure why the agent doesn't use the vector store or can't use the vector store. Well, I guess we'll figure that out. So I can use Pinecone, honestly, or I could use just local internal memory, in-memory vector store on our computer. So let's do the in-memory vector store. And now let's add some documents to our agents. And remember also that in here we have the parameters and instructions that the agent should follow in order to complete this task. So if you need something specific, or if you needed to guide it to do different things, this is where you should insert those information. And now let's add a document. All right, let's see if anybody is in here. No. Okay. All right, so we can close this and let's get back to our vector store. So in the memory vector store, so let's add some documents. So we have different document loaders. I think the easiest thing to do would be just to add a PDF file, but we can add the folder as well that contains all of our documents that will be put inside of a temporary vector store inside of our memory that's set up with Flowise. So let's also add the embedding model. And here there's a new embedding model that works really well from OpenAI. Let's see if we have access to it. It should be large, this one, text embedding large. It's really good embedding model. And I think that's pretty much everything that we need. So now we can upload a document. So let's upload this document about agentic prompting. So let's add this document in here. We can also add a text splitter that's going to chunk our document if we need to, but yeah, let's add a text splitter. So text splitter right here. We have different text splitters. We are going to use a character text splitter. So we're gonna split our document every, for example, 300 word tokens and 30 tokens in overlap, and we're going to connect this to our text splitter. So this should be pretty much everything. We can also add some memory, in memory buffer memory to keep the conversation. So let's go to memory, buffer memory, and let's save our RAG system. Before we try our RAG system, we have to embed, or we have to put our data inside of the vector database. So we are just going to click on Upsert, and this is going to use it created 14 chunks from our document. And now I can close it, and I can ask it information like what is agentic prompting. All right, let's go into the additional parameters. And what if I ask it like, what is Golaya web app? And what is a spaceship? So I mean, it should tell me what is a spaceship, but it shouldn't kind of hallucinate too much exactly. So it should only answer information regarding our database. So in just a few minutes, it's still really reliable. We can create a RAG system on Flowise that works just great. So we can also deploy this if we wanted to. So let's just, because I have fun doing this, let's just make this public, and let's copy this and let's deploy it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's ask it, what is agentic prompting? It's going to get the information from the PDF that we have uploaded, and it's going to give it to us. And if we ask it like, what is a computer? It is not going to respond with anything, even though it knows the answer, but it's not going to hallucinate, and it's not going to give us a wrong answer. We can be 100% sure that it's going to get the information from our database or from our RAG internal vector store. And all of this without any setup, just by setting up Flowise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this training on Flowise. It is a really great tool. I'm going to make more videos on how to create agents with Flowise. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next live stream.